and welcome to another exciting edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Morgan Minster
and Amber Krieg. On today's show, you'll hear some interesting Thanksgiving Day facts. We'll be interviewing our school counselor and NCYC coordinator, reporting on our Bellevue Breadbasket Association, answering your questions in You Ask, We Answer,
and as always, updating you on Marquette sports and events. But first, to honor Thanksgiving, which is almost upon us, Amber and I decided to take a survey of our students to see what they're most grateful for this year, besides friends and family, of course.
Quite interestingly, more than half of our students said they're most thankful for food. How appropriate that Thanksgiving celebrates God's gift of a bountiful harvest with, in my opinion, the best foods of all the holidays.
Many students also said that they were grateful to live where they do, whether that was Bellevue, Iowa, or the United States. Many said they enjoyed the security and peace that living here has brought them.
A lot of our senior students mentioned their education. One of our reporters, Lauren Kilberg, said that she was just grateful to have found and chosen a college. I'm with her on that boat.
Other common answers from the Marquette students included being thankful for pets, Netflix, good health, and the ability to go to a school such as Marquette.
Many great answers. So, Morgan, what are you most thankful for this year?
I'm thankful that our next segment is Jam Time. Let's sail this ship on over to the girls.
In honor of Thanksgiving, we decided to share some Thanksgiving facts that you maybe didn't know.
Let's get right to it. Now, you may think that the credit for the Thanksgiving holiday should go solely to Abraham Lincoln, but much acknowledgement for the days of thanks should actually go to a woman named Sarah Josepha Hale, also known as the Mother of Thanksgiving.
Miss Hale was a prominent writer and editor.
And here's a fun fact within a fun fact. Sarah Josepha Hale wrote the popular children's poem, Mary Had a Little Lamb, which back then was known simply as Mary's Lamb.
Now, Sarah Josepha Hale spent 3 decades lobbying for the idea of Thanksgiving, and in 1863, in the midst of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln, with the prodding of Hale and in an effort to join the divided nation, proclaimed the final Thursday in November a national holiday.
There was a period in time, however, that the Thanksgiving holiday was celebrated during a different week. Did you know that in 1939, FDR moved the Thanksgiving holiday up a week so that retailers, in the midst of the Great Depression, could extend their holiday shopping season?
But after much public opposition, FDR, in 1941, moved the holiday back to the 4th Thursday of November.
When we think about that first Thanksgiving, of course we think about a great feast. Did you know that the first Thanksgiving feast in 1621 actually lasted 3 days?
Which may explain why we get Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of Thanksgiving week off of school.
At the feast, the Native Americans brought 5 deer to the festivities, so venison was definitely on the menu. Turkey, however, was not.
Potatoes and pumpkin pie were not on the menu that first Thanksgiving either.
Turkey, potatoes, and pumpkin pie do make great meals, however. Did you know that TV dinners have Thanksgiving to thank? In 1953, someone at Swanson misjudged by 26 tons the number of frozen turkeys it would sell that Thanksgiving. Someone had the great idea of slicing up the leftover meat and repackaging it with some trimmings on the side, and the first TV dinner was born.
Speaking of turkeys, did you know that only male turkeys called toms gobble? Females called hens cackle.
If Ben Franklin would have had his way, the turkey would have been our national bird. In the letter to his daughter, Franklin stated that the eagle had a bad moral character, while a turkey was a much more respectable bird.
I don't know how respectable it is, but is anyone spending Black Friday shopping?
Well, not your local plumber. According to Roto-Rooter, the nation's largest plumbing service, Black Friday is the busiest day of the year for them. After all, someone has to clean up after household guests who overwhelm the system.
Well, we hope we haven't overwhelmed you with all these facts. It's time to go. For Marquette in Motion, this has been
Jam Time!
With Justina Denlinger,
Allison Hager,
Megan Litter,
and Mackenzie Kilberg. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Christina Coos is here with a report on what Marquette is doing to help those in need this Thanksgiving season.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I'd like to start off with a Bible passage from the 2nd book of Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 11. You are being enriched in every way for all generosity, which through us produces thanksgiving to God. To show God how thankful we are for the gifts He has given us, the entire Marquette system will be joining efforts in an annual collection for the Bellevue Breadbasket. Students and staff will bring in an assortment of non-perishable food items, paper towels, toilet paper, and soap. At the school-wide Thanksgiving Mass on Tuesday, a student from each grade will offer up their gifts during offertory. Everything collected will be delivered to the Bellevue Breadbasket. From there, the products will be given to people in need. We encourage you to join us in our efforts and show your thankfulness this holiday season by giving to others. If you would like to make a donation to Bellevue Bread Basket, feel free to drop your non-perishable food items or paper products off in the high school lobby. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Christina Coos.
Thanks, Christina. Now let's drop on over to our next portion of the show, You Ask, We Answer with Lauren Kilberg. Our first question today asks about last week's Student Council Chicken Dinner. It reads, I saw the Student Council members' t-shirts and was wondering if I can get one like it.
Well, thanks for sending in that question. First of all, on behalf of the Marquette Student Council, I'd like to thank everyone who attended the chicken dinner. We had a great turnout thanks to the hard work of many parents and students and the entire community's efforts. As for the shirts, our council will be selling red and white versions of the shirt in the upcoming weeks as a fundraiser for charity. Be watching the Marquette website for details on where and when you can purchase yours.
Sounds good, Lauren. The next question inquires about the paper trailer. I know we're all a little confused. Is it back for good?
It is. Although the paper trailer did take a temporary leave of absence, it's back by popular demand. You can find the trailer in what remains of the Marquette parking lot for the community's use. Feel free to drop off all your paper and cardboard products whenever you're in the area.
Our last question today was written just for you, Lauren. You may have your first fan mail. A faithful listener asks if your All-State concert will be televised, and if so, when?
The Iowa All-State Music Festival will take place tonight at 7 p.m. at Hilton Coliseum at Iowa State University. If you can't be there tonight, the next best thing is to watch it on TV. The concert will air on Iowa Public Television on Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 26th at 7 p.m., and then again on Sunday, November 29th at 5:30.
I think last year's show could also be found on YouTube, so via some form of media, I know we'll all be tuning in, Lauren.
And I hope you'll all be tuning in to Marquette in Motion next week. Until then, we'll be taking your questions at marquetteinmotion@marquettecatholic.com. This is Lauren Kilberg. Marquette in Motion will be right back.
We're back with Marquette in Motion. Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig are here with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks, Morgan. This weekend, the annual Marquette Classic basketball tournament is being held at the MEC. This tournament is for students in grades 5 through 8, both boys and girls. Good luck to all our area's teams who are competing, and remember to have fun. Also, the first Marquette High School basketball game of this year will be held at Central City this Tuesday. Both the JV and varsity girls will compete. Good luck, girls.
Thanks, Sam. Also, don't forget about our approaching Christmas concerts, with preschool through 5th grade performing on Monday, December 7th at 6:30, and 6th grade through 12th grade, who will perform on Sunday, December 13th at 6:30 as well.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Sam Peters.
And Jonathan Herrig
with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks, guys. Well, you won't have to travel over the river and through the woods to get to our next segment. We now have Brooklyn Moore with her segment, No More.
Hello everyone, I'm Brooklyn Moore, and today I'll be interviewing Miss Julie Schmidt, the school counselor here at Marquette. As guidance counselor, what are some of your responsibilities?
As school counselor, my responsibilities are various. I serve as the senior class moderator. I schedule college visits for our seniors and juniors to attend. So we have over 40 different colleges, military, and other areas coming in from the outside to visit with our students. Of course, we have our standardized testing with our MAP testing and our Iowa assessments. In the fall and in the spring, we have scheduling for all of our students, including our students who are taking online classes, as well as post-secondary education opportunity classes through Clinton Community College. In the fall, all of our seniors attend a job shadow day that I schedule, and in the spring, that's really our hard time for scholarships and awards for our seniors.
What would you say is the busiest time of year for you?
Most definitely fall is the busiest, only because I try to get in with all of the classrooms in the high school, the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors on a regular basis to touch base with their career and college planning, their high school planning, their scheduling, as well as that's when our job shadows take place, and one session of our MAP testing and our standardized testing with the Iowa assessments.
Along with being a school counselor, I know you're also the youth minister at St. Joseph's Parish. Can you tell us a little bit about what that role involves?
The role has actually evolved in the last 8 years. When I first came on, after Father Scott and Father Meyer and Sister Linda met with me in developing the program. In the beginning, I would say our first year we had maybe 10 students involved on a regular basis. And at this point, I would say we've got anywhere between 35 and 65 kids who are regularly involved in our programming. We have at least one service project per month, a meeting per month, and we try to do a fun activity each month. Summertime is a lot easier to get some of those events in. Winter and spring are quite difficult with all of our students involved in so many activities, but it's nice that they still make time and can make time and prioritize that time for some of our church events.
That's good. So, NCYC, the National Catholic Youth Conference, began on Thursday and continues through tomorrow. Would you mind giving us a brief summary of the weekend?
Absolutely. And actually, if you're interested in seeing any of that stuff, if you Google NCYC 2015, you'll end up on the homepage. And on that homepage, you'll be able to live stream the closing mass, which takes place Saturday night, which is tonight. So you'll be able to see that if you're interested in watching that. That is where 25,000 teenagers and chaperones share in the communion and the source and summit of our religion. And it's one of the most amazing experiences some of our students, when they come back, share that they've ever had. So that's exciting. So if you're interested in joining in, you can do that tonight online. We will begin on Thursday after we arrive in Indianapolis. NCYC travels to different locations each year. It just so happens that for the third year in a row, we're in Indianapolis. So this is my fourth time in bringing a group. My first group, I brought 6 students. This year, I have a group of 85. So NCYC has grown in our area, and I think our students market that themselves by getting each other excited about the process and about getting to meet Catholics from all over the United States. All 50 states are represented at NCYC. So we will get there Thursday night, and they'll get to start meeting some of those students in the general session. We'll get to hear our English teacher, Mr. Bishop's favorite band, that night, as well as our MCs, Jackie Francois Angel and Paul Kim. So it's just exciting times. They get to hear good speakers, wonderful musicians. So they get to attend concerts while we're there and listen to Catholic speakers. They'll get to go to breakout sessions, which allows them to choose which kind of speakers they want to hear throughout the day. Then we join together Friday night for daily Mass. Saturday is the same thing. We get up, we go to general session, and then we go into our breakouts. And our kids' goal is always to get front row at Mass, at that closing Mass. So they tend to get in line earlier than the rest and dance and sing until they can get in to keep themselves warm. And we'll end the weekend with closing Mass and then travel home on Sunday.
Well, it sounds like a fun weekend. I know I'm excited. I have one last question before we go. If you could give a student one piece of advice, what would it be?
You know, as I've been school counselor for a number of years, I would say my advice actually changes each year as I learn more and see how our students evolve and grow. And the number one thing I think in looking at students K-12 is be open to learning and the whole learning process. Be okay with making mistakes and challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. Whether you take part in a sport that you're not real good at, or you try out for the play, or you join the large group speech team, do something that's not comfortable. You need to start stretching yourself in order to grow. The problem is if we sit back in our comfort zones is that we don't open ourselves and our brains and our hearts for growth and change, and we need to challenge ourselves in all aspects of our lives to do that.
Thanks for letting me interview you, Ms. Schmidt. Make sure to keep tuning in for more interviews. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Brooklyn Moore.
Thanks for reporting, everyone.
And thanks for tuning in. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Morgan Minster
and Amber Krieg.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay in motion.